All right, so this is our lesson over finding volume. We're going to find the volume of cylinders, spheres, and cones. To start, we need to define our vocabulary. So a radius is the distance halfway. Across a circle. So this first grade circle here is showing us what a radius will look like. So draw an arrow to that on the diagram and label it radius.
And the other one is incorrect.
Okay. And so then we have diameter, which is
Distance fully across the circle. That's diameter. The one on the right.
distance fully across a circle. And so label this one over here the diameter. Volume is a measurement of the amount of space an object takes up. The amount of space an object is. The height is the distance from base to the top. Sometimes we say how tall it is, but specifically it's from a base to the top of the shape. Okay, and we've talked about pi a few times. Pi is an irrational number, but more specifically, we're interested in like how we found it. Pi is only used for things that have to do with circles, and the reason why is because it's the ratio of a circle's circumference, so its perimeter, to its diameter. That's a ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. Okay. All right, so you see we have these three different diagrams, all three different shapes. If you turn to the back of this page real quick, which I asked you earlier to go ahead and look at, this is the same formula page or reference paper that you will get whenever you take your state test. This is what you usually get at the end of the year. We are going to be, for this week, using volume of these last three formulas. So cylinder, sphere, and cone. And these are what we're about to write down. So for cylinder, first of all, let's write it, cylinder. And that is pi r squared for radius squared times h, which is just the height. So if we were finding the volume of this cylinder, we need to identify what the radius and the height are of this shape. So first, let's write down our formula again. Volume equals pi r squared h. Pi stays the same. There's nothing to replace that. It is just a number. We're finding our volume. What is the radius, the 3 or the 5?
3.
Okay, so I want you to draw an arrow to that. I want you to label it the radius. How do we know that 3 is the radius?
Because it's only going halfway.
And it's specifically on what shape?
the bottom shape, right?
What is that bottom shape called?
Oh, yeah, the circle.
A circle. Yeah, radius can only ever be found on a circle. So that base happens to be a circle and it's going halfway across. What if it was going all the way across? What would we have to do?
Diameter.
Well, that would be diameter. So how would we find the radius?
Cut it in half.
Yeah, just half it. So pi 3 squared, and what's our height?
That's
See?
5.
Yeah, it's going to be 5. Okay, and you can type this directly into your calculator exactly as you see it. We even have a pi button. You're going to notice that it's going to give you a different format for your answer. So pi 3 squared 5. And notice that we get 45 pi. How do I change that so that it's in standard notation?
You converted, like you used the convert button.
Yeah, use your double arrow key down here that changes it to a decimal. And so now it's 141.371. That 1 means that we're not going to round up. We're just going to keep the 0.37. So we're going to do 141.37. Okay, so this is the volume of our cylinder. Okay, so now we're on to this next shape. What's the name of that shape? It's a sphere. You can check the back of your paper for your formula, the equation. It's 4/3. I'm going to write it underneath here. So volume equals 4/3. So it's 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, and so for this one, they gave, the only thing that we have to find is the radius. Did they give us the radius up here? Yeah, they did. So volume is 4/3 pi, and that's 5 to the third. Be careful, make sure you write the correct exponent. Sometimes they like to give us diameter to see that if we'll know to cut it in half. All right, so now let's find out what 4/3 pi 5 to the third is. That's what it would look like. And we see we get 500 pi over 3. We just need to press our decimal expansion button, that double arrow key. And
523.60.
yeah, so we'd round this to 0.60. So 523.60. And our third and final one, what is the shape? It's a cone. All right, and check the back of your paper. That's 1/3 pi r squared h, so it's very similar to the cylinder. So volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. For this one, the volume is, let's see, what is our radius? First of all, did they give us the radius here?
No.
No, that's the diameter.
So you would cut it in half, which means you would divide 8/2, which would equal 4.
Yeah, so 8/2 is 4, and that's our radius. Okay, so 4 squared. And our height is 7. All right, and then we just type that into the calculator. So 1/3 pi, and then we've got 4 squared and 7. We get 112 pi over 3, which is 117.29.
112 pi over 3, right?
Yeah. And so that's the volume of that cone. And this is what our classwork is going to be over today.